Well, in today's session, we are going to talk about the arrays. So let us talk about the introduction to arrays. Now, usually the radiation pattern of a single element, as we have seen the wire antennas, whereas we have seen the dipoles. So if we see the radiation pattern of such a single element, if I talk about the radiation pattern, it will be, if I'm talking about the radiation pattern of the single, will be like this. Okay, so you can see this is nothing but the radiation pattern of, if I talk, ideal pattern will be like this for the half wave dipole. So if you see here, the pattern here is relatively wide, so I can say the pattern is relatively wide. Okay, and as it is having a relatively wide pattern, we are going to get the less directivity with this kind of the antennas. So as we know that the gain and relative, you can say G is equal to K into D. So gain and directivity are directly proportional to each other. So as your directivity will be less, your gain will be less. So for many applications here, if I talk about the applications of this particular antenna, we need this particular things for the point to point communication. So the point to point communication, my requirement is that I should have the radiation pattern here as a single narrow beam. So here if I'm talking about this particular radiation pattern, my requirement will be like this. I need this kind of the radiation pattern where my antenna, receiving antenna is placed. Okay, so this is the my requirement. So how we can achieve this particular thing? Okay, to get this kind of narrow beam, I can do one thing, either increasing size of element, or second, by using number of, you can say number of elements, or you can say by using, or here you can use increasing the number of elements. Okay, so here how we can get all these things. So in this particular section, whereas we are talking about the arrays, we are going to implement these things. We are increasing the number of. Now let us see what do you mean by the array. So here, antenna formed by multi elements arranged to produce a particular radiation pattern is called an array. Now in most of the cases, elements of an array are identical. This is not necessary, but this is the approach which we are going to uh, see over here. So here it's not actually required that you should give the same input to each and every element, but in most of the cases it is done. So ठीक है, what is the principle of operation? So here if I talk about the principle of operation or a principle of working of this particular array, here fields from the elements, here we are using number of elements, so fields from the element of array interfere constructively. So the first approach, you can see the fields from the elements of the array interfere constructively. You can say the fields will be added in the desired direction. So this is the how my two elements will work, or otherwise I can say n elements will work. Otherwise you can say the interfere destructively. So in this particular case, they will cancel each other in the desired direction. So this is nothing but the principle of working of this particular arrays. Now here typical arrays. Now we are going to see what kind of the construction will be there for the typical array. So if I am considering a typical array, so here I am considering that my array is a linear array and I have a similar element antenna. So this is nothing but the one antenna, this is the second antenna, such n antennas I am connecting together. So this will be the radiation by these antennas. Now here each antenna will be connected with the phase shifters. ठीक है. So I'll have this kind of the structure which is called as the phase shifter, and the input given is nothing but the I0 a raised to j alpha 0, here I1 e raised to j alpha 1, here as this is the nth kind of the thing. ठीक है. Now next one is nothing but the and to this particular structure transmitter input is given. So this is nothing but the transmitter. So here if I consider each and every element connected in this particular diagram, I can say these Y kind of structures are nothing but the antennas. These are nothing but the phase shifters, and these are nothing but the attenuators. So these are the linear array composed of n number of elements. So the amplitude of the current supplied to antenna determines the magnitude of the field radiated, whereas the phase angle given over here will determine the phase of the field. So here you can see the current provided here is nothing but the I0 e raised to j alpha 0 to this particular antenna. So here I can say I0, I1 are the amplitudes of currents, and alpha 0, alpha 1 are the, I can say, phase angles of that particular current. Now here we are assuming these are nothing but the transmitting antenna, and our observation point is far away from this particular antennas. Now how we are going to express the field produced by this particular antenna? So I can say the field due to antennas can be expressed. Now how I'm going to express this field? This will be expressed E0 e raised to j psi 0, E1 e raised to j psi 1, and so on. Now here let us see the meaning of this terms. So E0, E1 are magnitudes of the fields, whereas I can say psi 0, psi 1 is nothing but the phase angles. Now the total field observed at particular point, say P, which is far away from this particular transmitting antenna. So I can say the total field observed at some point P will be observed or will be obtained by superposition principle. So here I can obtain this particular field like this. So E total is equal to, E total is equal to E0 e raised to j psi 0 plus E1 e raised to j psi 1 and plus so on. Now here consider the current supplied are equal. So here our assumption is that are equal. Then I can write here I0 e raised to j alpha 0 is equal to I1 e raised to j alpha 1. Now here then you can say that this E0 will be equal to E1. ठीक है, but your psi 0 and psi 1 are not equal. So this is the condition. Now here what we can, or how we can conclude that psi 0 and psi 1 will not be the same, because here your phase of that particular received field will be decided by alpha. ठीक है, so you can say your psi at observation point is not only decided by alpha, but it is decided by distance of the antenna from point P. So your psi will be dependent on alpha as well as d, which is nothing but the distance from point P. So it is given by, so if I'm interested in the psi will be given by beta into d plus alpha, whereas we know that beta is nothing but the phase constant, which is nothing but the 2 pi by lambda. D I have already mentioned, which is nothing but the distance, and alpha is nothing but the phase of the input current. So in general, distance of each antenna from point P cannot be same, as these antennas are physically separated from each other, and so phi, so psi, this psi will be different. So here whatever array shown in the figure is the transmitting array, however the transmitting pattern is the same as the receiving pattern by reciprocity. So this is all about the, we can say, angle psi. Now let us talk about the types of the arrays, whereas we are going to talk about the linear array, planar array, and the conformal array. So here the figure A shows you that this is the x, y, and z axis, whereas all the antennas or all the elements are placed along with the x axis. Now let us talk about the second figure, whereas I can see this are the x, y, z axis, and here we are placing our element or the antenna elements along with the x axis and along with the y axis. So this is y, this is z, and this is x. So let us say this is nothing but the figure number B, and the third figure is nothing but you can say here again z axis, y axis, and x axis, whereas we are putting our element or the antenna element 1 2 3 here. You can say 1 2 and 3 here, then again here and say here. So here we can see we are keeping antenna elements, or let us say we are keeping the 4 antenna elements like this. Okay, so somewhere here also. Okay, so this I have kept this antenna elements along with the y or xy plane, you can say. Okay, so let us say this is nothing but the figure number C. So the first thing which we are going to talk about is nothing but the, either your configuration may be the single dimension like A and B, or it may be a two-dimensional array. Okay, so here in this particular way we are going to categorize this particular in three ways, that is linear array. So in this configuration the array element lie along with a straight line. Okay, the elements may be equally or unequally spaced. Okay, so if you refer the figure number A, elements are arranged only along with the x-axis. Okay, so they can also be arranged along with the y-axis, will be called as a linear array. Next one is nothing but the planar array. Now here you can say I'll say this is nothing but the linear array. Okay, in the planar array you can say elements are located in a plane. Okay, like this. So here we can see that it is two-dimensional array with the elements arranged in x and y axis, so or in xy plane. Okay, that's why it is called as the planar array. Similarly, C figure can be called as a planar array because they are arranged in the xy plane. Okay, now this is nothing but the explanation of the planar array. Now let us talk about the conformal array. So conformal arrays are the arrays which are locations must be conform to some non-planar surface. So you can say the location is conformed to some non-planar surface such as aircraft or missiles can be considered. Let us discuss about the controlling parameters of an array. The shape of overall radiation pattern is decided by 5 controls. So the first control is nothing but the geometrical configuration. So geometrical configuration of the overall array. So whether your elements are arranged in linearly, circularly, rectangular, spherical, etc. So this is nothing but the geometrical configuration. The second controlling parameter is nothing but the relative displacement between the elements. So the relative displacement between the elements. The third controlling parameter here is nothing but the excitation amplitude. You can say current amplitude, because the input given is current, amplitude of the individual element. The fourth controlling parameter here is nothing but the excitation phase of individual elements. And the last controlling parameter here is nothing but the relative radiation pattern. Radiation pattern of the individual elements. So this is all about the controlling parameters of an array. Now, understanding how these controls change the overall radiation pattern, we must understand the basics of antenna. So we'll start with the isotropic antenna and we'll see some of the basics of the isotropic antenna. Otherwise we can say this is the revision. So if I'm talking about the isotropic antenna or isotropic source, so if I'm talking here about the isotropic antenna or isotropic source, the isotropic source is nothing but the source which equally radiates in all the directions. So if I talk about the radiation pattern here, the radiation pattern is nothing but this one. So this is, I can say, theta, and this particular angle is nothing but the phi. Okay, z, y, x. So this is the radiation pattern of an isotropic antenna. Now we know that this antenna radiates equally in all direction. The second one is nothing but this is a point source of radiation. Third, it is not possible, or you can say it's an impractical antenna. It's a hypothetical antenna. Now since it radiates equally in all direction, the radiation is independent on theta and phi. So you can say the radiation pattern will be the spherical over here. So we'll talk about the three-dimensional pattern, whereas you can see this is nothing but the radiation pattern of an isotropic antenna. So as we know the radiation pattern, now let us talk about the power theorem and its application to the isotropic antenna. So I'll talk about the power theorem and its application to isotropic antenna. So as we have already talked about the antenna previously, we know that how we can going to calculate the power for this particular isotropic antenna. So here let us talk about the power. So when we talk about the radiation density, so W radiated is nothing but the radiation density can be calculated by W0 AR, and this will be the watt per meter square. Okay, so we find the power radiated using the power theorem. So P radiated is equal to surface integration of W radiated over the ds. This is nothing but the your differential area. Okay, so here you can say the differential area. How we are going to find out the differential area? ds is equal to r square sine theta d theta d phi AR, which is nothing but the differential area over the surface or over the sphere of radius r. Okay, so P radiated can be calculated if I know the radiation density. So P radiated is equal to surface integration W radiated into ds. So this will be 0 to 2 pi, phi varies from 0 to 2 pi, theta varies from 0 to pi, W0 AR bar r square sine theta d theta d5 AR. So when you solve this one, W0 r square minus cos of theta 0 to pi, phi will vary from 0 to 2 pi, 4 pi r square W0 watts. ठीक है, as this is the power, the unit will be watts. ठीक है, now it gives you W0 is equal to, if I'm interested in the radiation density, so it will give me W0 is equal to P radiated, as this is the P radiated, divided by 4 pi r square. So this is nothing but the radiation density, I can say, for this particular isotropic antenna. So this is the radiation density, this for the isotropic antenna. The next thing which we are going to talk about, the radiation intensity. So radiation intensity is nothing but the power radiated per unit solid angle. So I'll talk about the radiation intensity here, as we have talked about the radiation density. This is nothing but the power radiated per unit solid angle. So how I'm going to calculate this will be the P radiated U0 DO. ठीक है, so I can calculate 0 to 2 pi, 0 to pi, U0 sine theta d theta d5. So here I can say our source is isotropic antenna, radiating power equal to P radiated, and the radiation intensity here is equal to U0. Now let us solve this particular equation further. So this will become U0, phi varies from 0 to 2 pi, cos of theta 0 to pi. So this comes 4 pi U0. Okay, so here how we can calculate the U0 is expressed in terms of, this is P radiated, so U0 is equal to P radiated divided by 4 pi. So this is the radiation intensity by isotropic antenna. Now here we know that as this is nothing but the power radiated per unit solid angle, the unit will be watts per steradian. Okay, so this is nothing but the basics of our isotropic antenna. Now let us discuss about the two element array in the next session. Thank you.